What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at the Buffalo Sabres. We don't talk about the Sabres too much on this channel, so I thought I'd give them a little bit of attention here. We have two pretty interesting storylines to talk about today. The first one being Victor Olofsson. We talked about that at the trade deadline. There may be a trade coming for him. The Rangers were linked to him. The Devils were linked to him. A couple of teams in the Eastern Conference were looking at Victor Olofsson, so we'll revisit that, as well as the latest on a new captain in Buffalo. There was a rumor thrown out there that the next captain may be a veteran here on the Buffalo Sabres for next season, and maybe not the guy you were expecting. So we'll talk about that as well. So let's start off with Lance Lysowski, a trade candidate for the Sabres, could include Victor Olofsson. Now, like I mentioned, this has already been talked about. He's an RFA this summer, and the Sabres and him have kind of fallen out of grace. The relationship between them just hasn't really materialized, I think, the way they would have hoped. The hope was maybe Victor Olofsson would be kind of the next goal-scoring guy there in Buffalo. And it just never really worked out. So at this point, it does look more likely than not that we do see a Victor Olofsson trade. Like I said, where to exactly, again, it depends on the teams involved and the priority of getting that type of player. Bias here, I'm looking at the Islanders, who are looking to add some scoring depth. He's not your key piece, I hope, but this is a guy that can lead you in that direction. So I look at the Islanders instantly as a team there. A couple teams on the West Coast. I look at the LA Kings, the Anaheim Ducks, who would love to add some scoring guys. They're good fits there. On the East Coast, like I said, the Flyers, the Devils. To varying degrees depending on what he wants in terms of a contract. Does he go to Washington? Maybe they could find a fit there in a trade. So that's kind of what you're looking at with Olofsson. But I figured I would mention that again. He's not the big hot ticket item that he was, say, a year ago. His stock was much higher then, but maybe a team can cash in when his value's low and get him back to that potential from last year. So this is from Tim Graham. Now, this one's kind of interesting in terms of the captaincy front in Buffalo. A lot of talk has been toward, will it be Alex Tuch or Tage Thompson? I would have put money on one of those guys being the next captain. Maybe this guy, though. And again, like I said, from Tim Graham, the Sabres didn't share who the 2022-23 team captain will be, but all signs point to Kyle Okposo wearing the C next season. So this is kind of interesting. This is a guy in Kyle Okposo. I have to say, I do have a little bit of an attachment to Kyle Okposo. He was drafted by the New York Islanders, was a really, really good player on the Islanders. He was an alternate captain for a couple of seasons. He was there through the tough days of the Islanders and their Garth Snow era, continuous rebuild situation, and Kyle Okposo stuck it out. He ended up getting traded, though. He didn't end up getting traded. He ended up staying with the New York Islanders. I want to say it was it was the 2016 playoffs. They were playing, I want to say it was Washington or Pittsburgh. And quite fittingly, in the Garth Snow era, they lost in the first round. So they decided to keep Okposo past the deadline. They kept him as their own rental. And come July 1st, 2016, Kyle Okposo signed a massive contract under Tim Murray. That was the GM of the Sabres at the time. So he's on his third or fourth GM with the Sabres throughout his 7 years here. He signed a 7-year, $42 million contract. And interestingly enough, the Islanders, to try and replace Kyle Okposo, had signed Andrew Ladd that same day to an extremely eerily similar contract, which is currently residing in Arizona, that deal. So, I was always, there was always that sense like, oh, that was a tough guy to lose, especially for John Tavares, who had not had many talented players like that. Kyle Okposo is just again, you look at what has happened since he came to Buffalo, right? He came to Buffalo, this big ticket, and then he has the cancer scares and the injuries and the illness. And Kyle Oposo could not catch a break. And now in the final year of his 7-year contract, he may be the next captain of the Sabres. Now, again, last season in where he did play, he played well for the Sabres and is a big reason the Sabres did what they did last year. So it is exciting to see maybe an opportunity here for Oposo, who is at this point a veteran and at the ripe young age of 34 years old, maybe we do see Kyle Oposo get that captaincy tag. So all of you guys thinking it was Tuck or Thompson, kind of like myself, it may actually be Kyle Oposo who is the next captain of the Sabres. Guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, I think only 8% of you or 6% of you who watch these videos are subscribed. So if you guys are not subscribed, I'm talking about you. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go Sabres.